During your college days, you pay to get to learn. But here, we get paid to learn. Values, high on integrity, lead by example. Is independent and a debt-free organization. You can say it's a cash-rich organization or privately owned. We do provide end-to-end complete service from transactions, from the advisory, the valuation, capital markets, then transactions in all segments of residential, commercial, hospitality, retail. And then the management point of view, we do project management, fit outs and facilities management, properties management, asset management. CoreNet Global is a US-based firm, but their focus is largely on corporate occupiers. When you say occupiers, I represent like Google and Mastercard. Distinctly, RICS represent all the stakeholders of the sector.
So, what is one real estate practice globally that India should adopt?
The question is, do we have the infrastructure what West has? Procurement is not a small topic, that, right? It's not just about having a big partner. You need to have various set of vendor partners, and solutions are prepared based on that.
In a way, what we are also trying to do at Procura is that the aggregation of complete B2B procurement. Have you had to say no to a celebrity tenant or a client?
I've told no, and I've got the deal also.
Do you think India is capable of, equipped to manage such a large scale?
There was a time which we always say that, we need to model in Singapore, we need to model in San Francisco, New York.
What's the average cost of running a commercial building per square feet today? There's a joke that Indian real estate makes money only when you sell, not when you rent. Is that true or false? Standing in 2025, do you think India is now a tenant-led market, or is it an investor-led market?
I'm sure not everybody do like me, but the truth is,
From managing 350 million square feet to shaping the future of real estate strategy, today's guest is a decorated leader, a global voice in facility management, and someone who has turned corporate real estate into a science as well as an art. Please welcome with me the powerhouse from Knight Frank, Mr. Sathish Rajendren, or should I call Dr. Sathish Rajendren.
you've been very kind. Thank you very much, Ruchit.
Thank you so much, Sathish, for joining us and for giving us the honor to have you on the podcast. It's truly an honor, and I would really immediately start by asking you that from theology to security, hospitality, and eventually leading one of the biggest facility portfolios, what has your journey really been like? It is truly unconventional.
Yeah, very much. I think in today's world, there are a lot of opportunities and a lot of platforms to do your proper education, right, in this sector. But when we started, we all came by accident, right? I'm an army student. I started in army school and then did my graduation in theology, which we could thought of because I was also very ambitious that I need to do something in future. That is when I decided from theology I need to complete into secular. And that is when I started to pursue my secular studies from BA, and then got into my MBA in marketing. Then did my doctorate in management, specialization as an asset management. And thereafter I did my leadership in INSEAD and so on. And then IIM and very much. Then my very first, job was in Taj Group Operatives, because my entire family is from the hospitality Taj Group. And they put me also forcibly into a Taj Westin as a steward, right? I did very briefly there, and then I ran away saying that I need to earn more money, and then got into a security organization as a sales manager. That is where it all started. See, pretty serious business, but I really enjoyed, that is where my foundation values I learned it from my theological study of Christianity. And thereafter, doing my security guarding and detectives, investigations, became an expert in event management. I was also fortunate to be a personal escort for many top celebrities, international and Indian celebrities. And I've been an expert. But then I was wanting more, right? I wanted to do something challenging. So after my 4 or 5 years of tenure there, I said, no, what is beyond security? That is when I got into a company called RKH, now it is known as Sodexo. There I took up a role of Karnataka head of both FMB and Facilities management. From security, hospitality, food and beverages, then got into FM. Slowly started with pest control, then housekeeping, and then got into electromechanical. Then I said, no, I need to move into an global organization because since we do not have that privilege to do a proper education into this sector, so every organization where I joined, in every segment was an opportunity for me to learn. There's a saying, right? During your college days, you pay to get to learn, but here we get paid to learn.
Right.
So from security, moved into architectures, then the Rexo, then got into ISS, and thereafter moved into Blue Star. It's an electromechanical company, HVAC systems. There I was heading this PFM business for them. And again, my very first thing to my boss was, look, I'm not an engineer, right? So I need to be expert. I need to know what I'm talking to my client. So the very first 6 months, all I did was going to all their manufacturing plants, trying to understand, what is pumps, what is V belt, and what is fins, so that I don't look like a non-engineer. And the very first mandate was a Volkswagen mandate to managing a 230 kV substation entire HVAC system in Chakan. And that is how it all started, right? So, yes, and then again, the evolution did not stop there. I wanted to, what am I doing? And just doing FM. How do I go get into global real estate? And then I got an opportunity to work with the international property consultant, the Cushman Wakefield. Joined there as an regional head, and then within a span of 9 years, I became a India head for Facilties and Asset Management. That was my journey. Now I'm with Knight Frank. I've completed 8.5 years now. I head Facilities, Consulting, and Property and Asset Management. On and above, of course, I'm on India board. And I'm also part of the occupiers board for APAC. Work very closely with the global leaders to see how we can drive this corporate relationship globally. And also, the very important one for me was I was also part of the global council in driving values and behaviors. So that made me special, and today I have.
Wow, that's truly one of the most inspirational career journeys I've heard. I'm sure that Stuart from Taj would have never thought that this kind of a rich career would is lying ahead. I really want to understand the scale. So, how big is actually the corporate real estate and facility management market?
So well, I think it's a very good question now. It's very important to fundamentally know how big is this market. Fortunately, since I was on several global board on corporate real estate, so I had these insights. Overall, the global real estate market is close to around 9 trillion USD, right? Of which, and it's next by 2030, it's going to grow up to $14.5 trillion market, big market, corporate real estate. And when it comes to facilities management, again, it is close to around 1.3 billion, sorry, $1.3 trillion. And in the next 5 years, that is again going to grow up to around $3 trillion. Big market. But if India perspective, if you look, the biggest opportunity is here now, because it's a fast-paced growth which is happening in Asia Pacific, which India market is alone. It's around 500 billion USD market, and then next 5 years is going to be a $1 trillion market. Whereas facilities management, again, it's organized market is around 60 billion market, and overall, it's next by 2030, it's going to grow close to around 80 to 90 billion market. So it's big market, right? And it's very important. Again, India is a well recognized sector after the second largest, that's agriculture, and the major contributor for India's GDP as well, around 7%. And also next 3 years, you will see around 5 million jobs also coming in through this sector. So massive development. You have a lot of funds floating in, like Blackstone and Brookfields and GICs and Xanders, and the plenty of money floating in India. I think it's a beautiful sector to be.
That's really well summarized. And do you think India is capable of, equipped to manage such a large scale? And are there any specific traits required for it?
Yeah, very much. I think, look, nobody thought that, this economy is going to go so in such a fast track. And if you look at the numbers, what I just gave, while currently, like including me, like most of them, 80% of the experts what we have today, we are coming to the sector backstreet, right? Nobody's comes directly from college pass out. We did a education in real estate or FM. So my straightforward answer is we lack of talent, qualified professionals to run this sector. And it's very important that, because nowadays every hiring company's job descriptions say that what's your qualification real estate sector. But to be very honest, we still long way to go.
Right, right. And now that you give this kind of experience and the global perspective that you're giving us, I want to understand if are there any globally recognized associations or industry forums which are dedicated to real estate, and what is your role and what are your contributions to them?
Absolutely. I think, as I said, while we have to go a long way, but last 10 years, if you see, there was global association which is very actively involved in India. Like I was part of the one of both those organizations as well. But for example, CoreNet Global, right? CoreNet Global is a US based firm which is being headquartered in Atlanta, and their focus is largely on corporate occupiers. So, but their core area is focused only on occupiers, and they are the ones who we bring this fraternity of global best practices, research papers, benchmarking, and also education. Fortunately, I'm also part of a faculty for senior executives like Master Corporate Real Estate and Senior Leader in Corporate Real Estate for CoreNet. So they could provide this content. They get associated with universities and try to bring this platform for India as well. So we have a pretty large membership in India, and this is one association. It's USB. Another one RICS. It's headquartered in London. Again, rich legacy, 150 year plus. I think again that the interestingly RICS represent all the stakeholders of the sector. Whether it's government body or it is funds, institutional funds, or landlords or and occupiers, right? So like surveyors, FM policies. They very closely work with the government in building all the policies and surveying and so on. So they do provide all this FM education, benchmarks, policy making, and SOP guidelines and so on. And then in India, they are associated with Amity University in Noida. So they do provide MBA for FM educations and many sustainability, ESG governance, similar to CoreNet Global. And we also have another global, association that is IFMA, Integrated Facility Management exclusively for IFMA. Even they do provide all the CFM certified facility managers, courses and so on. And all these, some of the associations have already associated with Indian institutes. And that is why I said we have started in a good way, but it's a long way to go. And nowadays, even the IIM has started coming with a couple of other institutes. We have started to realize that this sector is very big, and it is required to have a proper content and qualification in the near future. If we have to bring talent, we need to invest straight away from school, college. They get into this real estate sector, but here we still talk about engineering, science, and the other stuff. But yes, we need awareness, and I think we're in the right time.
So, what is one real estate practice globally that India should adopt, and one that we can skip?
See, there's nothing that global best practices, whether it's a global or local, it's a best practices, right? We need to adopt. But the point here is, the question is, do we have the infrastructure what West has? Because today, just to give an example, India, the lifespan of the buildings are 45 years to 50 years. In UK or some of the other West, it is 100 years. So any best practice, if you have to implement locally, we need to be very cautious, right? The infrastructure has to match in terms of technology, in terms of, yes, we have come a long way. Today, our buildings are no less than any of the Singapore buildings or US buildings or UK buildings. But still, I think global best practices can be adopted, but we need to slightly customize to the local environment. In Europe, you have to do once in a week only all the deep cleanings, or Here, every day we have to do because of the infrastructure, the dust accumulates. And similarly, I'm just giving you a very silly example, but that's how it is. Best practices can be adopted anywhere, but slightly you need to locally, customize and implement that.
That's very well put again. So, coming back to Knight Frank. So, Knight Frank is actually a 130-year-old name. But if I had to ask you that, if you had to summarize or tell someone what Knight Frank actually does and what you do at Knight Frank, how would you explain it to someone who has no idea?
Firstly, I want to say that Nighttime is independent and a debt-free organization. You can say it's a cash-rich organization or privately owned. What happens is, we are more customer-driven, right? And we are very flexible, agile. We don't have any kind of a shareholder pressure. That itself is a big differentiator.
True.
From the organization point of view. But otherwise, yes, I think we do a complete as a consultants, as international property consultants. We do provide end-to-end complete service from transactions, from the advisory, valuation, capital markets, then transactions in all segments of residential, commercial, hospitality, retail. And then the management point of view, we do project management, fit outs and facilities management, properties management, asset management, the entire data from the commercial point. Our flagship report is Wealth Report, right? And similarly, we do publish, recently we have published H1 report on commercial real estate space. But another important service line for us is facilities, considering facilities and property asset management, which I certainly have. Currently, we manage 350 million square feet, very diversified segment. You name the segment, we are into it. Whether it is commercial, whether it's airports or oil and gas, or you are into retail or hospitality, you name it, we are there. And again, the management of what we do, it's worth of around close to 100 billion non-asset. So yes, I think if I'm sure everybody knows it because we are also one of the top IPCs in India and of course globally. And if you manage 350 million square feet, I'm sure everybody knows it.
Right. I've even heard they call Knight Frank the McKinsey of real estate and asset management.
Should be rich legacy, a very strong and stabilized leadership, and everybody who's been in the system pretty long. While they are conservative at the same time, very much client focused.
Right.
Our culture plays a very important role. Our values, as I said, I myself was part of a global council driving values. Everybody are very much aligned on the values, and that's one of the key differentiators for us.
Any highlights on the Indian office market?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Indian office, as part of a recent report, which we published just a couple of weeks back, the H1 office report especially, it's the momentum is very good, and the transaction worth volume was 48.9 million square feet, up to 41% growth year on year, as compared to 2022. So in terms of the cities, Bangalore is always led. It's 116% year on year growth. So very clearly, I think the momentum is good, and the way out is going, it will sustain for rest of the year as well. So keeping our fingers crossed.
Right. Those are some very good and exciting numbers.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think if you have done 49 million square feet, it talks volumes about how GCC are coming into 30% of the bills of GCC are taking over, right?
True.
So yes, I'm in the right time.
Right. So just for our audience, GCs are global capability centers. Now, I've always seen that facilities, properties, and asset management, these are terms are always used interchangeably, right? So are these all the same? Can you help us understand the difference between these?
I'm glad this is a fantastic question because not everybody understands this fundamental clarity. I'll take this opportunity to clarify. Yes, I think facilities, property, and asset management. Today, what most of them feel that anything to do, everybody terms this as a affair, or everybody terms this as admin. Ideally speaking, facilities management is nothing but representing the occupier, right? Anything between the four walls, managing your entire office services, whether it's pantry, your security, your F&B, and your electrical stuff and HVAC systems for an occupier who's occupied the campus. That is facilities management. So that is one stakeholder. Property management is you represent the landlord, like developer, right? Like embassy or RMZs and Wadwa, DLF. You represent the landlord, and you take care of the entire common area meters, right? Your property services, your landscape, your utilities, your roads, your lifts, and so on. So clearly, it's a very different. The definition is very clear. Inside and outside has a big difference. So that is property management. Asset management is a very mature model where in India we are yet to reach at that stage. Outside India, asset management is very common. It is a mixture of property maintenance, right? That includes your HK housekeeping, your security, your lifts, your AMCs, and your landscape, right? Your licensing, and also your lease administration, asset management. You're having a lease and then managing all your rentals and financials. All this is called an asset management.
Right.
So there's a clearly a fundamental difference between FM represent the occupier, the property management represent the landlords, and obviously the asset management represent even institutional funds like Blackstone, Brookfields, and of course then the large developers like Satwa and DLFs and RNZs and APCs. So that is why for us it's very important what we do under property management. Who's our client? It's landlord and funds and settlement. Who's our client in FM? It is occupier. It is a corporate client.
That's very well explained, and that will really help us distinguish the three terminologies.
Right.
Okay, so I really was excited to ask you this. Standing in 2025, do you think India is now a tenant-led market, or is it an investor-led market?
I'm sure not every do like we, but the truth is that is my personal view. Pre-COVID, it was a landlord-driven market, right? But post-COVID, since lots of consolidation, everybody is very conscious about your sustainability, ESG, and wellness. Now it has become a occupier-driven market. So whatever occupier wants, and today all landlords and funds are very flexible, and they also understand that it is time that they also are agile and we making sure that they meet all their occupier demands. Clearly, yes, it's an occupier-driven market.
True, because you can see that change in the market now.
Absolutely, yeah. And it's very partnership driven, right? Everybody are very collaborative. And even the assets what we have in the landlord point of view is no less than many US assets or Singapore kind of buildings. Like you name the property, whether it's Satwa, your embassies, all the REITs, right? Now REITs play a big role in real estate infrastructure trustee. Most of the buildings are REITs driven. So very clearly you're transparent, no compromise on quality and standards and so on. But yes, you have to pay the premium.
Right, right. So, what are the various operating models in facility management? Let's say if we can answer in terms of an example.
See, again, as I said, very clearly there's a three different service line, right? Facility represent occupier, then property investment management. Equally, operating models basically, there are 4 or 5 type of operating model which exist in India. The first one is the agent kind of a model. Mostly, landlords, some of the land, not everybody, they prefer having a partner like us who can only bring the governance part of it, right? And rest of the entire vendor partner driven is directly passed through. We only govern, we manage, we highlight all the compliances, and that directly the check is directly paid by. We only certify. But having said that, overall the service delivery remains even in this model. Cost-plus model is the most common model. 80% in the industry always adopt this cost-plus model because you have this governance part of it, and you have all manpower vendor partner, your AMCs, your other equipments, your toiletries or whatever and again licensing and so on. All this comes at it. It is one point of solution. This becomes again a service delivery. It's a cost-plus model. The third and the fourth model, like performance contract. Performance contract is nothing but it's a SLA to it. SLA is defined and end to end. Your manpower, your governance, your utilities, and your entire AMCs, everything is under one umbrella. That is performance and escrow model kind of stuff. Wherein it's a reward basis, based on the SLA driven. If you achieve anything above 80, 90, you get reward. If you go below, you get penalized. So it's a SLA based performance driven. The other one is completely an escrow driven. It is irrespective of how many headcount you put, you need to meet a SLA. So it's a completely the onus on us. You put 100 people, you put 50 people. You need to meet the SLA. If anything is that compromise, your SLA gets into the picture. And again, that also comes with the committed savings as well. Year on year, you have to commit on 5% or 8% or 10% savings. Only then that makes value to the client who are assigned. But again, there's in the industry, there's very few people who take this, because this requires volume, right?
Right.
But if you have a volume, only then people who want to go for such kind of a performance contract or escrow or a general operator model. But otherwise, traditionally, it is a cost-based, 80% everybody go for cost-plus, and the management agent, very few, around 20 to 30%. But interestingly, all those models is what making us is a difference, right? So that you can pick and choose,
Yeah.
But majorly corporates prefer cost-plus and the escrow model, and landlord-driven and some fund they also prefer. Again, it all depends upon the volume what you give to that.
Right.
We are managing almost. We are with the current client. We're providing all the models which is available today.
That's some serious amount of data. Just can you give us a peek into your dashboard? What kind of technological tools do you use to track this data, and how does your team measure success overall?
See, basically today technology, like everybody, we are in advanced technology. We do have technology tools, right, for everything. Today, everything we want to have a data-driven technology tools, whether it's procurement, whether it is helpdesk, or even asset management or inventory management, green check or space management. Today, it's like a la carte services. You need the tool, you have a habit. But what is missing today is the latest trend, that is intelligent asset management, right? You bring your AI, sensor-based, geofencing. That is how you add value. But yes, there is investment to it. We did a pilot project in one of the largest campus, and we could implement a clear knock center where each and everything is tracked through sensors and geofencing, but everything is led to a data-driven decision. And we sitting in one place, we can monitor what is happening across our campus. Who's going where. So, and we could, successfully, save around 28% of cost to them. But again, that requires a partnership approach because today, as you know, most of them ask for value, but value also comes with a cost.
Right.
So yes, I think we have technology. We do have technology to monitor. Again, that's all backed by domain knowledge of us or with our experience in domain. Because today, anybody and everybody can develop those models. But if there's no domain knowledge of facilities and asset management or real estate, it's of no use, developing any kind of tool. And we have our dashboards and our monitoring system. We have a strong CSR program run. Customer survey CSAT programs. Then we have a key activity tracker to monitor the entire service delivery. Okay, and all this is further we embedded in a technology pool,
Right.
and then backed with the CRM. Then that is how we manage and track all the service excellence.
Right. But having said that, FM is in the end a human. There's a human aspect involved, right? It's a human job. So let's say if an elevator is not functioning, you'll have a human to go and repair that. If a floor needs cleaning, you will need a human to do that job. So how does you know technology interact with maintenance?
See, as I said, I was giving an example of intelligence in my mind, right? See, still a long way to go. Everything will go away, but the human emotional will not go away. Still long. It's difficult. It's difficult. But yes, many of them have tried just having robot or it has failed also.
Right.
But it's still long way to go. We have to be dependent on humans as well. But yes, system is there. Process is there. Tools are available. Robots are available. But still, it requires a human intervention. Without that, I think we are not yet reached at that stage.
Right. Okay. So we spoke about different models. We spoke about technology. a very important stakeholder in this entire ecosystem is the vendor partner, right? So 350 million square feet. I'm sure you'd be, associated with a number of vendors. Can you help us understand more about that?
So it's a very straightforward, right? I think if you are managing such a diversified portfolio, such a massive portfolio in the country of 350 million square foot of, portfolio, and the asset value is close to 100 billion USD. Naturally, we have to be, having a large vendor database. Yes, we do call them as vendor partners. Gone on those days, vendors, and I generally don't encourage anybody saying mentors.
Right.
They are also partners. They are equally partners. We have around close to around 500 to 600 vendor partners because, as you know, facilities or asset management or even for that entire real estate, we have various set of very diverse vendors like manpower vendor, right? Proportion under manpower, you have security, your housekeeping, your pantry, your stationaries, your AMC vendor party, your OEMs, right? And the like that, we need every in the country and nationally, we need to have certain partners who can provide national services, and regionally, we need to also identify the who's good at regionally, because sometimes not necessarily that the same partner will provide the entire nationally, because we have to go with which region, which city, who's stronger. So that due diligence is all be get it done by a typical logic note, I'm a procurement tool, and obviously the team which led by the team who will do it. But yes, I think we do have a very strong vendor management, which is we sign MSA is signed centrally,
Right.
and that ways, and any contract what we sign, it is straight away back to back contract.
Right. And there's a huge evolution that we have seen in the vendor partner ecosystem in the sense that how important digitization has become now. And secondly, in a way, what we are also trying to do at Procura is that the aggregation of complete B2B procurement. How important or how much demand do you think that has in the market?
Uh, See, for us, it doesn't matter, right? We need partners. We can't say we can't pick and choose because our market is such diversified. We are working corporate, we are working landlord, we are working with industrial industry like manufacturing setup. We are very strong in BFSI segment. Most of the banks we manage it, and they're not just offices; they are small branches. We are serving close to around 300 to 3,000 locations. You name the tier one, tier two, even the remotest location like Guwahati or East, So for that, we can't be dependent on our key partners who's very strong in city like Bangalore or Mumbai or Chennai or Hyderabad. We will have to be, partnered with few aggregators like what you guys have to get. So that, for example, Shay, we know here, or other banks we have, we need to have a local here. And for that, we need to be aligned to the aggregator who can bring in those solutions. So basically, we have, that is what procurement is not a small topic, you know that, right? It's not just about having a big partner. We need to have various set of vendor partners, and solutions are prepared based on that. So yes, to answer your question, yes, we are working.
Right, right. That's great to know and very encouraging for people like us also. Now, moving on, one of the reasons that we are doing a podcast and not an interview is that a lot of viewers really want to know the other side of Sathish Rajendran. So, for example, what do you do to at the end of the day, or what to as a stress buster, or as a hobby?
Oh, yeah, that. In fact, as in a month I travel 20 days, right? Throughout the year, at 12 months, even if we do good, but one or two, any breakdowns, we are caught.
Yeah,
Right? All the good work just goes for it.
true.
But yes, that is what I beat in and out. If one issue be handled in Bangalore, one will start in Delhi and another one start in Calcutta. So I have no other choice but to go. But yes, the stress is high. But the way how I manage is, I see I'm very passionate about corporate real estate. I'm passionate about learning, and I'm equally passionate about sports. Right. So I have a cricket team, and we also represent Nightbank as well, Bangalore Mavericks.
Wow.
Nightbank Mavericks. We do play a professional cricket, red ball and white ball, T20 and T30, and we are very competitive. In Bangalore, we are number 3.
Wow.
In professional cricket. We play in safety is important. We so every Saturday or Sunday I do play cricket, and that all my stress, all my anxieties are removed on the ground. Shout. That is how I re-put my energy and come back on Monday, restart again. Not just cricket. Cricket is right as a professional cricket. Otherwise, I'm very much passionate about basketball. I've been a boxer in MEG, and I've also played basketball for my college state and the club. So I do many indoor games, table tennis, long tennis, and so on. So these are the ways where I try to do my stress. Naturally, with family also, somehow I manage. I can't say I'm busy. I can't say I'm tired. So it's a tough thing, but we had no choice but to manage it and keep everybody happy. Go to malls and take the family out. Of course, movies are another stress buster.
Yeah.
It's very important to choose your movies also. We can't be seeing any other serious movies when we have such a high profile role. We need to see some nice comedy movies. Sometimes action to read. Yes, and some networking and with the fraternity, and knowledge forums, talking about what's happening in the industry. So these are the ways where I'd like to spend some time and give back to the fraternity. I do my guest lectures in some of the big institutes, Symbiosis or IIM, or some of the podcast, and I do give teach this faculty for the MCR students. So that it goes out.
That's great to know, and I had absolutely no idea about this side of you. But such passion of sports is really inspiring, in spite of handling so much on your palette.
It is very important, right? Because you need to bring the culture. As I said, we're known for culture. If you do not have that, balanced culture within the organization and also, the family, we need to somewhere strike the balance. Otherwise, it becomes too difficult, especially after COVID. Health is something that everybody should know. Give importance to health is wealth, right?
True, true, true.
Yes,
Very
I
well.
believe in that. I believe. I do encourage all my, even as an organization also, we do encourage everybody, individuals, with the marathons or even UK. We do, a lot of partnerships, rugby's in Australia and ice hockey. And so across all things. So likewise here also. But cricket is something that now at the moment that as we speak today, even today England and India is playing, not sure what is the scope.
Yeah, yeah. Correct. So that's a great note to go to our next segment, which is the rapid fire.
I thought you were already doing a rapid fire with me so far.
Have you had to say no to a celebrity tenant or a client?
Yeah, we have. I've told no. It's the largest, global occupier. I've told no, and I've got the deal also.
Wow. Okay. What's the average cost of running a commercial building per square feet today?
Between 60 rupees, as I said, because IFM cost alone is around 55 to 60 rupees. That includes your electricity, but excluding your rentals. And in asset management, it is between 10 to 15 rupees.
Right. A sustainability metric that CEOs ignore, but they really shouldn't?
Nothing can be ignored today. ESG has become mandatory. Earlier it was good to have, but today everything is recorded. Every investor, it's in everybody's drawing board.
Most memorable Knight Frank deal or a project till date?
Shell,
Okay, Shell. Which Indian city has surprised you the most in terms of real estate growth?
right?
If not Mumbai or Bangalore, where would you base your next office headquarters?
I'm a Bangalore boy. I prefer to be in Bangalore, but the headquarters is naturally in Mumbai.
Coffee machine downtime or air conditioning failure? What causes more panic?
So naturally it has to be air conditioning. Otherwise I can't drink my coffee peacefully.
Which is the most expensive to maintain a commercial facility in India?
Mumbai, Gurgaon, followed by Bangalore, Hyderabad.
What's one data point that you always check before starting your day?
A planner and to-do list for the day.
Meeting in person or Zoom? What's more productive?
In person or a cup of coffee or lunch.
A quote that changed your view on teamwork and leadership?
My favorite quote, individual wins games, teamwork wins championship by Michael Jordan.
There's a joke that Indian real estate makes money only when you sell, not when you rent. Is that true or false?
It is true and false both. Naturally, it also depends upon the volume. If it is a sale, you get a big money. If it is a lease, you get moderate money, right? So yes, both to and pause both.
Right. What is the one quality that you love the most?
Values, high on integrity, lead by example.
Okay. You've won so many industry CEO or CXO awards like Times of India, RICS, CoreNet, Rashtriya Udyog Ratan, and Global Visionary Award also. What actually really keeps you grounded? Can you give us some tips for us?
And nothing, you just enjoy what you do. Be passionate, be ambitious also. It's very important to know where you are heading it. Just and back with your integrity, ethics, and that will take you everywhere. And stay grounded. Help as much as people who are wanting to pursue this career, mentor them, and give back to the fraternity.
One city in India that's underrated but it is showing immense growth.
I think for Hyderabad was something earlier underrated, and today it's become it's almost beating Bangalore.
Wow. Most expensive office fit out you've ever seen.
Oh, I think there are many things, many names, but I'm not sure whether I can name them or not. But most of them are from Bangalore.
Okay. The book that changed your view on business leadership?
Why?
Why?
Hard with why?
Start with why, right. Open office layouts, are they genius or a nightmare?
It is both.
Okay. Which country do you think India should study when it comes to real estate?
We have passed those days. There was a time which we always say that, we need to model Singapore, we need to model San Francisco, New York. But today, the kind of assets what we have, Bangalore, Gurgaon, Mumbai, and Hyderabad, it's as equal as any global cities today.
Asia Pacific or EMEA? Who's doing workplace experience better?
See, generally, West, Americas, and Europe, they all are, developed countries, right? They've already seen success. They're nothing much. That's why the entire economy is coming this part of the region because the growth is just far out. Like in Asia Pacific, India, China, and Malaysia, right? Philippines and Vietnam. These are the places where it is growing. And since a country like India, I gave you the numbers. It's massive growth. But since its a growth is so high, you have plenty of things to do.
And lastly, I like to ask this to all global leaders. What is your country count?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, maybe it should be around 32.
32. Nice. Okay, that brings us to the end of Rapid Fire. So, to end with, Satish, a lot of youngsters would be watching this.
Just youngster. I thought even all the senior professionals are watching.
Senior professional would be definitely
On a
watching.
lighter note.
Yeah, but for the youngsters who would be watching,
Yeah.
I would really want to ask you that how would you want to give back, having such a rich experience and career? How would you want to give back to the world or to the sector and the fraternity?
As I mentioned to you, I have come hard way, right? When I started my career, I never had this kind of platforms or mentors or such. Today, we have evolved a long way. So if I have to, give up any tip to any of the youngsters who are pursuing their career in this sector, please make sure that they find a good mentor for them, mentor and coach. Mentor and coach both are two different roles. I'd always suggest identify your mentor and have a clear-cut plan how you want to take your journey. A short-term plan, and a long-term plan. And back with what are the education which will enhance their career and their succession plan is very important. It is not that straightforward engineering or graduate program or MBA. It's not just about that. As I already told you, related to this sector and many education which is required to master like QPCR, qualified profession in real estate, and master of corporate real estate, your certified trustee management, or sustainability, or ESG. These are the set of education where you need to pursue as you build your career. So it's very important to have your mentor and talk to him, understand, And there's no shortcut in this sector. You need to learn hard way, and then you can be smart. Then you know the journey where you are headed. Don't forget, the sector is one of the highest earning potential you have. So it's not just about 10 lakh, 20 lakh, 30 lakhs, 1 crore, 2 crore. Plenty of opportunities. Sky is the limit. I keep telling all the youngsters, I'm telling it to you, them also. Sky is the limit, but plan your journey very well. That ways, I'm sure you'll achieve what you want. But be ambitious. Be very very clear in your vision, how you want to pursue it. That is what I would like to contribute, which I'm already doing it. I do a lot of mentee programs across. I hold my team also to have a mandatory a minimum of 5% in a year. And I have mentees across, I have mentees in New York, I have mentees in London, I have mentees in India, and even some part of Asia, Australia. And many of my mentees are already heading the large corporate houses as a corporate senior head, and won many awards, Global CRE Award, Global FM Award. I can name many of them. Who are watching the all, I'm sure many of them knows, what I've been contributed so far. And I'm sure, they will do it.
Those are some really golden insights, and I would like to just tell anyone watching, I hope you're listening, because these are some insights and this is advice which can take you a very long way. And in a way, sir, today also, what you've done here by coming here and talking to us, you have in a very small way for us given back to the fraternity, because I will go back much richer in terms of knowledge from this conversation. It has been truly an exceptional conversation with numbers, with insights, with advice, with a lot of clarity. You have broken down myths, you have broken down terminologies which are often interchangeably used. So thank you so much for coming here. And how was your experience of coming on the corner office, if you'd like to say something to our viewers?
Ruchit, thank you very much. I really enjoyed coming here. Fantastic experience, nice coffee, and nice technicians you have, lovely lights, and what better thing you can ask for? So the corner office, uh, I think all I can say is the best wishes to you, and that it was a privilege for me as well to have this talk with you, the podcast, and I wish that all these awareness, whatever we spoke, it reaches to the fraternity and the youngsters and mid professionals, senior professionals, because this is very important for our fraternity. And I'm looking forward to interact with you and also to see the podcast of Corner Office.
Thank you so much. It has been an honor, and thank you for giving us your time.
Pleasure as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for watching this episode. If you enjoyed that, please like, comment, subscribe, and share it with someone who will enjoy facility management and corporate real estate conversations. Thank you.